In this bass lesson, you're going to learn 5 beginner-friendly bass lines that are guaranteed to impress. And the best part is they're super easy to play, so you can start playing them today. Hi, I'm Luke McIntosh from becomeabassist.com, and if you want to learn some bass lines that people actually like and recognize and get people excited about your playing, then keep watching. I love the bass, pretty much everything about it, the way it sounds, the way it feels, the way it gets people to move. But there is one thing that kind of sucks about it. If you're a guitar player or a piano player, even if you're a drummer, if someone asks you to play something, there's tons of super easy things that you can play that people will recognize and want to sing along with. A guitar player might play a super famous riff like Smoke on the Water or Sweet Child of Mine, or even strum a famous chord progression. Something like Wonderwall always seems to get a reaction. Piano players can do the same thing. They can play things like John Lennon's Imagine, or pretty much anything by Elton John, and instantly people will be singing along, having a great time. However, if you played the bass line to any of these songs, people would just look at you funny and say, what the hell is that supposed to be? Because the bass is so often a supporting instrument, there aren't a ton of examples of bass lines that will prick people's ears up and get them excited. However, there are a few absolute gems, bass lines that you can play that get the same kind of reaction as one of these other famous guitar songs or piano songs. The kind of bass line that almost defines the song. You don't need anything but the bass line for people to get into it and start yourself a glorious old sing-along. Now the first song that's great for this is Seven Nation Army from the White Stripes. It's super simple and it's pretty much the same the whole way through. The funny part is there's not actually a bass in the original recording. The whole thing is played on a guitar that's been put down an octave. It still sounds cool though, and it's super easy to play. First, let's listen to the whole thing really quick. Pretty simple, right? That's the majority of the song. So how do we play it? We're going to start on this E right here, 2nd fret on your D string. From there, we're going to go up to an open G string, and then back down. Simple enough so far. From here, we're going to keep going down. We'll go to this open D string right here, and then to round things off, you play a long C, 3rd fret on your A string right here, and then you take that down 1 fret to the B, 2nd fret on your A string. Again, the whole thing, and you get this. Now there are 2 small variations in the bass line. The first comes right before the chorus where we get 2 bars of straight 8th notes on G and then A. This also happens at the end of the chorus. You can use your 3rd fret on the E string and the open A string, or you could use the 5th fret on your A string too. Whatever works for you is totally fine. In fact, you could play most of the bass line further up neck like this. That'd be fine too. Now the second variation happens in the chorus of the song. Instead of the regular bass line, in the chorus, every second time we play this. The first part's the same, but when we get to the C, the 3rd fret on the A string, we go back up to the open D, back to the G before we finally settle on that B right there. Just like that. That's the whole song. Of course, I put all the links to the songs in the description underneath this video, so if you want to go and play along with the real thing, be my guest. Right now though, let's move on. For the next one, let's go a bit old school and play Ben E. King's Stand By Me. This is a super iconic bass line, and it's great for us because you can play just that bass line and nothing else, and people will still know exactly what the song is, and they can sing along, even if it's just the chorus. And one of the great things about this is it's the exact same thing the whole way through. The whole thing's going to sound like this. Yeah? So how do we get to playing it? We're going to start on this high A here, 2nd fret on the G string. We've got 2 hits on this note. Before before we get to an E on the D string, 2nd fret right there, followed by a G sharp on the G string, that's the 1st fret there. So we have this. Then we're going to pass through that G sharp one more time and land on the F sharp right here at the 4th fret of the D string right there. And we've got 2 of them, so we get, yeah? It's rhythmically identical to the first one, yeah? So after these 2 F sharps, we go down to this E, 2nd fret on the D string, and back up. So we get 2 more F sharps there. Now we're about halfway through by this point, so now we're going to pass through that E again and land on the open D string, and once again 2 hits just like we had on the A and the F sharp. This time though, instead of going down from this note, we're actually going to go up to the F sharp again and circle back around to the E and hit that one twice. Yeah, and finally you play the first part again, starting on the E, going to the G sharp and then the A. Just like that, yeah? So the whole thing together sounds like this. Like I said, it's the same the whole way through, so just start it up, wait for someone to recognize it, and you're off to the races. For bassline number 3, we're going to go look at Rick James's Super Freak. It was also sampled by MC Hammer for Can't Touch This, and that probably ended up being a little bit more well known. It's virtually the same the whole way through as well though. We start with a really quick hammer on from the C on our A string to the D. That's from the 3rd fret right here to the 5th fret. Yeah, so, yeah. And then we come straight back down to the C, then the B, 2nd fret on the A string, and then to the open A, or you could also use the 5th fret on the E string, whichever you prefer. This one or this one. Either is fine. Now from here there are 2 variations. The first one that happens sounds like this. Yeah, we have the open E string, and then up to the G, 3rd fret on the E string. They're like a little pair. And then we get another little pair of notes from the B, 2nd fret on the A string, down to the open A. Or again, if you want, you could use the 5th fret on the E string as well. So we get, or, that's down to the A on the E string right there. Now the second variation just replaces that open E string with the B on the A string. Yeah, so we get, yeah, so instead of the, we get B, G rather than E and G. So the first time you use that open E, and the second time you use the B instead. The whole phrase will sound like this. That's first time. Second time. Super simple, right? Again, this is another one that people will immediately recognize, and they'll probably say at some point that you can't touch this. Bassline number 4, we're going to go old school again and have a look at Queen's Another One Bites the Dust. Maybe one of the most well-recognized bass lines, maybe ever. And to get started with it, it's super simple. It's just 3 notes. The part that everyone knows and the part that we're going to be looking at sounds like this. Super simple. Again, we're starting with a quick rundown from the A, 5th fret on the E string to the G, 3rd fret on the E string, and then 3 super heavy E's. Yeah? Now the next part is a little bit tricky rhythmically, but I'm sure you'll be more than able to handle it. We get 3 more quick E's before going back up to the G. Ba 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 ba. Yeah? Just like that. Da 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 da. And then to finish it off, we've got 1 more E and then a quick jump up to the A. And then just like that. That's the whole bass line. There are a few more sections in the song, but this one is the one that people will know and the one that people will sing along to. For our last bass line, let's get a bit more modern, yeah? Let's take a look at Meghan Trainor's All About That Bass. Super popular song with a simple bass line, and I'm sure if you played this in a room full of people, you'd have at least a few who knew all the words and are probably just looking for an opportunity to sing it. It's just got 3 chords, and the same kind of idea is played over all three. So first of all, let's play the whole thing. Altogether, it'll sound like this. Again, fairly simple. Let's break it down. We'll start with this open A string right here, and we're going to go up to a C on the same string, 3rd fret, and from there you go up 1 fret to the C sharp. You can either hammer on, or you can pluck it regularly. Yeah? And from here, you go up to this E on the D string, 2nd fret. So far we have this. Yeah? To finish off the... sorry, we actually don't have that yet. That's what we have so far. To finish off the idea, we'll just go down to the C sharp and then down to the A string again. Yeah? So the first bit sounds like this. In the intro, that's all you get, but for pretty much the rest of the song, that idea gets repeated twice, like this. Yeah? The next part starts on a B, 2nd fret on the A string, and we're going to have the exact same rhythm, but different notes. So we're starting on that B, then going up to C sharp, then D, 5th fret on the A string before going up to an F sharp, and back down. Just like the last one. So we've got 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 4th fret on the D string, then 5th fret on the A again, then down to our 2nd fret. So we have this. Yeah, again, it's repeated twice throughout the song. Now the last idea is the exact same as the first one, but we're starting on our open E string rather than our open A. That means we'll have open E, G, 3rd fret on the E string, G sharp, 4th fret, and then up to B, 2nd fret on the A string, and then back down to G, and then to E. Yeah? Yeah? You put this all together and you'll get this. Just like that, and it repeats over and over for the whole song. Now, like I said, I've put all the links to these songs below, so you can go ahead and play along with the actual recordings and get a feel for each of them. If you like this lesson, be sure to head to becomeabassist.com and sign up for the email newsletter. You'll get a ton of exclusive subscriber-only video lessons, all the best stuff from Become a Bassist, and as a gift for joining, I'll send you my 8-part Bass Chord Pro series, totally free, where you learn all the chords you'd ever need to play on bass. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm Luke McIntosh from becomeabassist.com, and I will see you very, very soon.